the next Arsenal manager. So lads, with the news of Unai Emery leaving Arsenal are truly starting to settle in, the search for the man to replace him is well and truly on, and with Mr. Freddie Youngberg already beginning to be doubted by some Arsenal fans. Let's just say the sooner we get a new manager, the better. But in terms of potential new manager, there are a lot of names being touted, from Max Allegri to Mikel Arteta to even Mr. Big Sam Allardyce. But in terms of today, we will focus on one specific candidate, and that man is current Leicester City manager, Brendan Rodgers. So lads, that is right, today we are going to be looking into the potential possibility of Brendan Rodgers taking over at Arsenal, and most importantly, how he could potentially line up as Arsenal manager. Let's get into this.
You crazy mother.
In 2018, if you had told me that Arsenal fans one day would be begging for Brendan Rodgers, I would have cried in laughter. But hey, life does come at you pretty fast, eh? Yo, what is going on guys, man, it's City, welcome back to my channel. Today we are here with a brand new video, and today we are once again talking about the one thing that everyone seems to be talking about. Your granddad, your grandma, your mum, your dad, your sister, your dog, your pet, your whatever, they're all talking about it. And that is the Arsenal managerial situation. In terms of today in specific, we're going to talk about Mr. Brendan Rodgers, who has been heavily linked recently with a move to Arsenal. Currently, he's taken the Leicester City side into second in the Premier League, over Man City, over Chelsea, obviously over Arsenal as well. And let's not lie, right now Brendan Rodgers is doing bits. So obviously what's happening is the media's put two and two together. Brendan Rodgers is doing bits and Arsenal really not doing bits at all. And bang, there you have it. Brendan Rodgers to Arsenal is now become a thing. But before we get into the video quickly, if you man could go down and smash a like on the video if you do enjoy my content. As always, I do ask for 100 likes, so if you man can hit 100 likes, it'd be massively appreciated. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers and we're getting it slowly but surely. So if you man can subscribe to the channel, it'd be massively appreciated. Obviously, let's continue the discussion in the comments as well. Comment below your thoughts on Mr. Brendan Rodgers. Would you take him at Arsenal? Do you think he's the right man for Arsenal? And if it's not Brendan Rodgers, who do you want to see at Arsenal? Let's comment below some managers that you can realistically see Arsenal get, and I will hopefully make some videos on them. And without any further ado, let's stop the waffling, let's put that to the side and let's get into this. So lads, today has arrived with Mr. Brendan Rodgers, ex-Liverpool reject, but currently doing bits with Leicester City, is being linked to Arsenal. So here is a potential lineup that you could see Arsenal lineup with if Brendan Rodgers were at the wheel. Let's get into this. So let's start off straight with the goalkeeper. This is going to be very easy, Bernardo. I mean, I could go for Martinez, but he's not good enough. In terms of any other goalkeepers, we don't really have any. In terms of Leonard himself, he's great at playing out the back. He's a fantastic goalkeeper when it comes to doing his job and saving balls. And overall, you know, he is kind of the best goalkeeper in London right now. Kepa Arrizabalaga, who? So yeah, I don't really think there's much to say here. So yeah, Bernd Leno gets in the team by default. Now quickly, before we get into the team, let's talk about formation. The formation I think Brendan Rodgers will play at Arsenal. Obviously, what's key to look at is currently what he's playing for Leicester. Leicester City right now, he's playing a 4-3-3. Now this is a 4-3-3, and the key thing in the 4-3-3 is always the midfield. In terms of the formation of the midfield he currently deploys at Leicester, he currently plays one sitting and two players in front of them that are a bit more creative and are more likely to go forwards. And obviously Brendan Rodgers also has the ability to adapt to the team he has around him. At Liverpool, when he had the likes of Daniel Sturridge and Luis Suarez, you can see he adapted to them and played a 4-4-2. But at Arsenal, I do think with the player and the personnel we have, a 4-3-3 will perfectly suit us. So in terms of formation, I'm going to go for 4-3-3. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on that. So on to the actual team itself, let's start off with the fullbacks. The first fullback we're going to do is the left back, and this is again pretty default, Kieran Tierney. I mean, I could go for Sead Kolasinac, but you know what? We don't really need a bodyguard. In terms of Kieran Tierney himself, an attacking fullback that will get forwards that will provide Arsenal width, and you know what? He is pretty much the perfect Brendan Rodgers fullback. Rodgers' key strength is attacking. He likes teams that attack, and his teams always attack. So when you have Kieran Tierney, who is a perfect left back going forward, you're going to play him. Kieran Tierney gets in the team, and I think there's nothing really to talk about. In terms of Sead Kolasinac himself, my personal advice to you is you can now become as his personal bodyguard. On to the other fullback, the right back, we're going to go for Hector Bellerin. Again, it is pretty default. It's going to be Bellerin, Adrian Knowles, are you mad? And Callum Chambers, are you mad? So via default, Hector Bellerin gets straight into the team. If you compare Bellerin to Leicester's current right back, which is Ricardo Pereira is, let's not be biased, better than Bellerin, but they are pretty similar players. They're both attacking fullbacks and their main strengths are attacking. Bellerin is different to Pereira in terms of Pereira is more a player who can whip the balls in, whereas Bellerin is more getting runs in behind. But again, it's a similar thing. If Rodgers comes to Arsenal, he wants Arsenal to attack. So Bellerin is perfect for that. Defensively, he can be a bit dodgy, I'm not gonna lie. Going forwards, you know, he is pretty decent. Let's not forget that he had 5 assists last year before he got injured, so he is decent going forwards. And I think it's pretty similar to what Liverpool have right now, where we have fullbacks that are going to provide us width. And in terms of our front three, which I'm going to get onto, they're going to be pretty narrow, so we need as much width as possible, and that width is hopefully going to come from the fullbacks. So again, right back is going to be Hector Bellerin. Now onto the centre backs, and this is where it gets a bit interesting. The first centre back I'm going to go for is Rob Holding. Now the key thing here is his ball playing ability. Perhaps what about Mustafi? Are you mad? I think the two centre backs that will be fighting for this place can be Socrates and Rob Holding. I think the reason why Rob Holding wins that is because his ball playing ability. Rodgers, again, I'm going to say it one more time, we want his team to attack, and to get the best out of attack, it's good to have a player that can pass out of the back. Socrates clearly can't do that. Holding is slightly better than him at it. Obviously, when it comes to Holding himself, he's come back from a very long-term injury. He's not going to hit the ground running, and as you saw against Liverpool when we drew 5-5, man was abysmal. But if you look back to his form prior to getting injured, he looked pretty solid, and I do feel like he is potentially, the best centre back we currently have. That is until we get William Salah. On to the final centre back to complete the back four, it's going to be David Luiz. Now, David Luiz is going to simply get into the team again on the basis of his ball playing ability. When it comes to playing out the back, the man's pretty clutch. Comes to defending itself, I'd prefer not to speak. Do you know what? If I do speak, I am going to be in trouble because I'm going to say a lot of stuff that I should not be saying. But again, it's going to be key for me to see a centre-back that can play out the back, and Rodgers will need that. Especially when you have the current midfield of Arsenal, we don't have a lot of ball progressors. So if we can have centre-backs like Rob Holding, David Luiz, there's two players that can pass out of the back, they're pretty decent at passing out of the back. Defensive-wise and slide, they're pretty shaky, but when it comes to passing out of the back, they are pretty good. And let's get straight, none of our centre-backs are any good at defending anyways. So again, David Luiz gets on the fact that his ball-playing ability, he's pretty clutch out of the back, and you know what? He was pretty experienced. But he cannot still defend. Realistically speaking, it was either going to be him or Mustafi, and I'm definitely not picking Mustafi. But Babs, shut up! On to the midfield itself, and this is the most interesting part of the video. Obviously, as I said, we're going to play a 4-3-3. I'm going to have one holding midfielder. The holding midfielder is going to be pretty simple. It's not going to be Granit Xhaka, no, it's going to be Lucas Torreira. Only actual defensive midfielder we actually have. You hear that, Unai Emery? You're not the Arsenal manager more. I don't care. How dare you play Lucas Torreira, a perfectly competent defensive midfielder, at the number 10? Especially when you got Mr. Mesut Ozil sitting on the bench. But yeah, in terms of the defensive midfielder role, compared to Leicester and Arsenal right now, we have Torreira, they have Ndidi. Right now, and the current way of looking at it, Torreira is nowhere near as good as Ndidi, but that is right now. Go back to last season, if you told me that Ndidi is better player than Torreira, I would have laughed at you. But it goes to show the ability of form. Now that Ndidi's in form, he looks like a better player than Lucas Torreira. But Lucas Torreira for me is still a perfectly competent defensive midfielder. He plays there for Uruguay, he's the player who's based in the midfield at Sampdoria. He, for me, should be our defensive midfielder. He's our only defensive midfielder. It's either him or Mr. Granit Xhaka, and I'd rather stay away from Mr. Cyprus FC. Let's keep Mr. Cyprus FC to the side. So for me, again, defensive midfielder for me is pretty default. Lucas Torreira or Xhaka. We're picking Lucas Torreira, aren't we? Now on to the attacking midfielders. Obviously, Rodgers has two attacking midfielders. He has Maddison, he has Tielemans. The first attacking midfielder we're going to have is the man like Joe Willock. Now, Joe Willock for me is a massive key right now, and that's because his ability of being a hybrid midfielder. He's in many ways like Aaron Ramsey, and what I mean by that is his ability of going forwards and also defending at the same time. He, for me, would be our Tielemans. He's nowhere near as technically good as Tielemans is, but in terms of his overall ability and his defensive ability as well, I think he can be a decent player, and I think this role could perfectly suit him. With the license to go forwards, but also being asked to defend when needed to. We could have picked Guendouzi, we could have picked Sabah, but you know what, I'm going to pick Joe Willock. And that's simply off the basis that we're going to need a player that's going to work hard, make tackles, but also get forwards and make dribbles and, make runs in the box. Joe Willock for me is that perfect midfielder for Arsenal. So my first central midfielder is going to be Joe Willock. Again, I could have picked Ceballos, I could have picked Guendouzi, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would you pick Joe Willock? On to the second attacking midfielder, it's going to be pretty simple. Mesut Ozil. So this for me will be our James Maddison. The creative sparkle Mesut Ozil gets in the team. Why does Mesut Ozil get in the team? Creativity. What does Mesut Ozil offer the team? Creativity. What is Mesut Ozil good at? Creativity. So should Mesut Ozil be playing? Of course he should. In terms of what Leicester have right now, they have Maddison, a player who's good at the creative spark. In terms of going forward, Maddison and Ozil are pretty much similar. Obviously when it comes to shooting, Maddison is better, let's not lie, but when it comes to passing, creativity, don't even talk about it. Mesut Ozil wins that. He was obviously under the shackles under Unai Emery when man was playing more Fortnite than football. Now that Unai Emery is gone, it's time to release the shackles and play the Mesut Ozil we love. I think in many ways, if you look at Brendan Rodgers midfield at Leicester, it's pretty similar to what Man City have. Man City have one sitting player, they're like Fernandinho and Rodri, and then you have two attacking midfielders, David Silva, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne. So the reason why I'm actually pretty excited if Brendan Rodgers comes to us is because he'll play two attacking midfielders. He will play Mesut Ozil and Joe Willock. He will play attacking players. Enough of playing three defensive midfielders. We're not about that life anymore. I want to see fluid, beautiful football, and that football is going to come via Mesut Ozil. So for me, Mesut Ozil will be our James Maddison, and he gets in the team, no doubts about that. Mesut, put the Fortnite to a side, it's time a bit of match of football. Now on to the front three, and this is pretty default as well. Left winger, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Who needs Jamie Vardy when you got the Gabonese? Babs, shut up. When it comes to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, yes, he's not a winger, but also he can play that role. When it comes to being a winger though, you can be two types of wingers. You can be an actual winger where you're playing out wide on the byline, or you can be playing as a winger that's more like a forward, like a striker, closer to goal. Now I think that's the type of winger I want to see with Aubameyang, a player that gets closer to goal. I think for me it's a matter of looking at what Liverpool have right now, their front three, which is pretty narrow. They have Firmino central, they have Salah and Mane central as well, and then the fullbacks offering the width. That's what we need to do. Aubameyang can't offer the width, he's not a winger. Put him in the box, he'll score goals, simple as. So as much as I think he's not a winger, the man won the golden boot there last year. So he's not a winger, but he can be used as a better winger. Use him like Mane and a wing back. And in terms of Brendan Rodgers or wingers, if man's getting Harvey Barnes playing, he can most certainly get Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang playing. Jamie Vardy, get out of the way. On to the striker role, and it's going to be Mr. Alexandre Lacazette. Now, this is a position that, you know what, it's actually become pretty hard. Lacazette is making it very hard for me to pick him nowadays. He's gone from Mr. Lacazette, you know, the Prince of Arsenal, to Twerkazette. In terms of Lacazette away from him, the man's not even existent there. At home, he scores clutch goals here and there, and that's why I like him so much. When it comes to away from him, the man is not to be seen. The only time I see Lacazette when he's backing onto defenders and twerking on them. So, in terms of Lacazette right now, you know, his form's not the best, but, you know, he's still Lacazette. He, for me, could be our Firmino. A player that can link up the other wingers and also link up the midfield to the attack. He's strong, he's got good hold-up play, and as much as I don't like his away record, he's still one of our best players. So as of right now, Lacazette would make our team, but you know, Martinelli is knocking on the door. I mean Pele. But Laka, I'm gonna tell you right now, I love you, but you better fix up. Stop twerking and stop scoring more goals away from home. On to the final position, that's gonna be the right winger, Nicolas Pepe. Brendan, if he comes to Arsenal, unleash Nicolas Pepe. Emery, he held him back. £72 million player playing a wing back. A player brought to score goals is making the most tackles. Emery, how dare you do that to him? But yeah, if Rodgers does come to Arsenal, I think he will get the best out of Nicolas Pepe. If you look at what he's done in his career, he got the best out of Daniel Sturridge at Liverpool, he got the best out of Raheem Sterling at Liverpool. He's a pacey player that wingers or slash strikers. And that's exactly what Nicolas Pepe is. Man's even got Ayuso Perez scoring goals at Leicester. So imagine what he could do with Nicolas Pepe. I think for me it's pretty simple really. To get the best out of Nicolas Pepe, you've got to get him closer to goal. Stop making him drop off to the centre midfield to pick up the ball and keep him in the higher areas where man can score goal. When it comes to making clear-cut chances for him this season, I can only think of 3 or 4 chances made for Nicolas Pepe. I know he should have scored a few of them, but you know what? Confidence is low right now, and that's because of Unai Emery. But yeah, I think for me, if we can get that midfield functioning, that will get the best out of our front three. Aubameyang, Lacazette and Pepe right now feeding up absolute scraps. But if we get that midfield going, boy, we're going to have a party. Forget the Jamie Vardy party, it's time for the Arsenal Football Club party to come back to life. As Hugh Wizzy was saying, lads, we are here, we have arrived. Now it's time to score some goals. Now this is a lineup I think we would see if Brendan Rodgers is in charge at Arsenal. This is obviously my personal opinion, so if you disagree, let me know your thoughts in the comments. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to end the video there and there. This is a video where I waffled on for quite a bit, so if you've enjoyed it, make sure to go down and smash a like on the video. 100 likes has always been massively appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Make sure to comment below your thoughts on Brendan Rodgers. Would you take him to Arsenal? If not Brendan Rodgers, who would you see at Arsenal? Comment below other managers that you would like to see me talk about and make videos about. And with that being said, my name is Sassin. I'm going to end the video there and there. Lads, the year is 2019, turning 2020, and Brendan Rodgers to Arsenal could be a thing. Funniest thing is, I really would take it as well. Life does really come at you fast, especially when you're an Arsenal fan. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.
I'm flying high, but I've got a feeling I'm falling for nobody else.